Hey guys, welcome back to another SUPboarder independent review, and this week we're going to be looking at the Starboard Hyper Nut. Starboard are one of the biggest SUP brands in the world at the moment, and they've been making good quality SUPs for many years now, and this is one of their newest SUPs in their range, totally new shape for 2016. This board that we've been testing is the 610 model. It's 6'10" long, it's 26.5 inches wide, it's 3.8 inches thick, it comes in at 91 litres in volume, it only weighs 6 kg, and it retails the full carbon at 1975. Starboard have made quite a few sizes in the Hyper Nut range, so you'll find that whatever weight sort of size rider you are, you will find a Hyper Nut that would suit you. Most of the boards are all available in a few different constructions. You have a wood as well, and that retails at 1275, and you also have an AST finish as well, but that's only available in a certain size. So the best thing to do is check their website for more details. Starboard say that the Hyper Nut series is all about speed, drive and acceleration on the wave. Okay, so let's talk about the board in a bit more detail now. Let's start off with the finish in the board and how it looks. Starboard have got a very distinctive look this year with all their full carbon boards with their blue carbon finish, and also their wood boards look really good with their nice brown rails and their nice veneer deck. This year we've noticed straight away they've put a lot more effort into the deck grip this year. Really nice having lots of different types of deck grip on the board, because you really can feel it under your feet, obviously if you're in barefoot only. At the tail, at the kick pads, they put a lot more work into the kick pad. Nice centre raised bit under your arch of your foot. You can feel that when you're standing. Obviously, due to the width of the tail, it's nice to feel where your foot is. And generally, when you're standing and paddling, you can feel the difference of the deck pads under your feet. So that's a really nice little feature that they've done this year. I really like that. They've kept their IQ deep carry handle, soft carry handle, really super easy to carry and nice and comfy for carrying it long distances. So let's talk about the shape of the Hyper Nut. The Hyper Nut is quite a complicated board to talk about because there is so much going on with it. If we start off with the bottom of the board to the midsection, it generally looks like a normal sort of wider tail board, nothing strange there. Then you come to the midsection, it starts doing strange things, the rails start going in and slightly straighter, and at the top section it starts going out again. The first time we saw this board was about 4 months ago, and to be totally honest, we didn't really think it was going to work. Looked at it and thought, so much going on there, the hydrodynamics, the water's going to go past the rails, oh, what's going to go on? Having used it, I'm a believer, but we'll go on to that in a minute. So that's the outline of the board. If we go on to the rails of the board, now the rails of the board, they've changed quite a lot this year. Usually classic sort of surf rails, nice and round, bit of a flat section at the bottom, not much shape. Starboard have really toned down their rails this year, sort of squashed the rails and brought them in a bit. That does quite a lot for the performance. In fact, it does a hell of a lot of performance. If you have a big rounded rail, it's going to give you lots of volume, but it's also going to feel a little bit slow and a little bit draggy. So if we look at the bottom of the board, because as much as going on with the rail shape of the board is just as much going on with the bottom shape of the board. Starting off at the nose, nice round nose, it's basically got quite a big concave at the front of the board. Okay, then the concave gets drawn out with a longer section, so it's a much longer concave, and coming near to the fins, the concave starts to stop at the sides, very flat at the sides in front of the fins, and it has a very slight concave in the centre, and towards the back of the fins, as again, flat on the sides with a concave and a bit of a V down here to the tail. So what all that is doing is holding the water as you're paddling forward. It holds the water in the concave here, and it starts to give the board lift, which means it's easier to paddle onto the waves. And then the concave slightly flattens out here, but it's still here. The board starts to get flatter from this section, which is where the speed and acceleration and drive comes in. Then coupled with the channel here at the back, which gives you extra grip, having a basic, you've got to think of these little channels like mini fins, okay? They're going to give you grip on the bottom turn, grip on the wave. Complement all of that together, it's going to give you a fast board that's going to turn, but still be very easy to paddle in on the wave. Moving on to the fins, Starboard, these are the fins that this board comes with, the Starboard honeycomb ones, 4.7 inch fins at the front and 4.5 inch fins at the back. This comes in a standard quad setup, there is no thruster box, so it's just quad only. So what's the Hyper Nut like to surf, and who's it going to be best suited for? It's easy, reactive and fast. Okay, let's look at the easy point of view. I mean, this board itself is 6'10" long. This is very short. You know how short it is when you're lying down on it, because it's almost the same length as a surfboard. For instance, these boards, for their size, are incredibly easy to surf because of the volume in the nose and the volume in the tail. It makes them very easy to paddle out through waves, very easy to stand in choppy waters. So if you're used to surfing a 8'5", a 9 foot, you're easily going to be able to surf on a 7'2", 7'4", 7'8". It's amazing the size difference. You can take a foot off your board straight away. but still actually have the stability to go out in choppy conditions. When it comes to surfing small condition, it handles it very well. It seems very drivey, as they say in all the promotional videos, accelerates well down the line. It's exceptionally good at re-entries and floaters, hitting off the tops and stuff. It's incredibly forgiving for that sort of surfing. It makes everything very easy and very effortless. At the same time, when you're surfing bigger, cleaner swells, it seems to handle it too. Because generally, a board with this width in the tail, you wouldn't really want to be going out on fast, sort of more powerful waves. You generally go for your smaller pinnertail boards, but it does actually handle bigger surf too. A good way to think about the Hyper Nut, if you're familiar with Starboard's range of boards, is the Pocket Rocket. Okay, the Pocket Rocket is an 8.5 board. It's 30 wide. It's one of Starboard's most best-selling boards, I think, in past years. They've still got it in 2016 range. The Hyper Nut series is like a Pocket Rocket on steroids. Okay, if you're looking at a board that you can SUP surf confidently, and you haven't got to be that good. I mean, you just be catching some waves and you've stepped off of 10.5. You've got to have a go on these sort of things. These boards are way more forgiving than, to be honest, we initially first thought. We thought they're going to be quite twitchy, very nichey, only fit a certain group, but to be honest, they are going to do a wide range of uses and surf a wide range of waves on it too. I'd be quite happy to have this sort of board in a quiver. I'd also be quite happy to go around the world travelling with this board alone. So it's a board that has multiple uses for many riders. And that's why Starboard, I think, have produced it in such a wide range of sizes and constructions. So are there any negatives or downsides to the brand new Hyper Nut? The only negative we've come up with is that it'd be so nice just to have an extra fin box just at the back, just so you could make it a thruster. And I know this board's been designed as a quad and it works really well as a quad, but it's just nice to know if you're putting this much money into a board and you're buying one, that you've got that potential to change it around a little bit more, do a bit more experimentation, because that's what SUP surfing is like. SUP surfing, you should be trying new things, changing the patterns of the fins of the board, the layout, to get the most out of it. So that's the only slight negative we had. Okay, is the Hyper Nut value for money? Blue carbon, to be honest, is a lot of money. 1975, I mean, it's almost £2,000. That's a lot of dosh. It is a top-end board for that, and it doesn't weigh anything, and the construction is incredibly hard wearing. I'm going to say it is value for money because you have got that other option. You've got that wood option, or you've got that AST option, which is far, far cheaper. So yes, it's value for money, and you have got certain things that you can pick for price points that you can suit your budget. SUPboarder verdict for the 2016 Hyper Nut. Don't judge a book by its cover. That's the only thing I'll say to you about this. This Hyper Nut looks a bit weird, but it totally surfs totally differently. Very easy to surf. It's going to suit a wide range of surf conditions and a wide range of surf users. A joy to surf, lots of fun. Get yourself down to your local shop, go and have a demo on one, and see what you think of this Hyper Nut. Hope you found this SUPboarder review interesting and informative. If you've got any questions or comments about the boards we've tested, please leave them in the comments below and we'll get back to you. Hyper Nut like to surf, and who's it going to be best suited for? I'm going to give you 3 words what the Hypers like to surf with 4 fingers.